Hello again to all my friends. It is Mr. Benjamin here. And I know what you're all thinking. You're all looking at this image right here that I've drawn and saying, "Wow! Wow, Mr. Benjamin, you're such a great artist." No, I know. It's not the finest work. It's not the Mona Lisa, but if you know me, you know that artwork, is not one of my fine suits. And it's just like we always ask. Always try your best. And I've tried my best on this, and I know it doesn't look fantastic. And it took me a good 10 minutes to draw this, actually. So yeah, take that for what it is. But we are going to be using this shape, and today we're going to be looking at 10.3 in our textbooks, which is the top, front, and side views of cube structures. So this right here, this is a cube structure, if you couldn't tell. And we're going to be looking at the different views of it, specifically top, front, and side. Our learning goals for today is to recognize and sketch the top, back, front, and sides. If I'm honest, we're probably not going to be doing back. So it's really just the top, front, and sides. Sides, there's an S there. Sorry. Views of cube structures. So when we think of a cube, there's your basic cube, right? That part over there is not needed. And I've ruined the cube. I'm going to try drawing that once more. Let's see if I can do that a bit better. That's a pretty good square to start with. This might be a winner. That's a pretty good cube. Okay, now if we look at this cube, everywhere we look at it, that's the view. It doesn't matter if it's the top, front, or side, that's what we're seeing. But if we were to attach another cube to this, say over here, this changes the view. Now if I look at it from the top, I can see the top two. If I look at it from the side, I can only see one, right? If I look at it from the front, I can see two. So front, side, and top. So the views can change. And to make that more clear, I'm going to go through an example. Before I do that, I just want to show you a couple more different figures that we might be working with. White on white doesn't underline too well, so I'll change it to red. So something like this figure right here, figure 1 right at the top. You can see we have one cube here, one cube here, two cubes in front, and I know you can't see it, but underneath there's two cubes as well. There's one cube right here, and there's another cube that's behind it. Cube behind. So really there's 6 cubes in total. And if we were to look at each specific view, well, we're going to do that afterwards, so I won't do it now. But all of these, figure 2, figure 3, figure 4, these are all cube structures. So you'll probably be asked to find some of the views of each cube. So going back to my expertly drawn structure here, I don't even know what this is supposed to look like. It kind of looks like a truck if you draw some wheels, right? Vroom, vroom. And the other two wheels would obviously be on the other side, but you can't see them. I don't know what that is. Don't ask me. I'm sorry. I'm just going to erase that. Okay. If we were to look at the top, that means we'd be taking a bird's eye view. So the top is almost bird's eye. And that means you are looking directly above it. So if I were to draw a set of eyes, like some beautiful lashes. See, like I said, drawing is not my strong point. They would be looking down at the top. Now, what would you see if you're looking down at the top? Well, for sure you would see these top 4, right? You would see these top 4 squares. I'm going to get rid of that. So I'm going to draw those top 4 squares. And when I say squares, you know I mean cubes. But when we're looking at it from that perspective, it's two-dimensional. But you would also see these down at the bottom. There's 2 more. And they would be attached. Now there needs to be a way for us to kind of show that we know that these four right here are on top and these 2 are on the bottom. And the way we do that is we make a thick line to show that there's a change in depth. Line shows a change, and I apologize if this is too small. in depth. Meaning this section down here is lower. And this section up here is higher. Now it doesn't necessarily have to be higher and lower, it's just to show that it's a change in depth. So I'm going to get rid of most of that. Oops, needed those two. And I'll keep that section, or that little bit there. Okay, now we're looking at the front view. And the front view, okay, let me highlight this. The front view is right here. We get to see all of this stuff. Right, that's the front. But if we're looking at it straight ahead, if our eyes are over here, and we're looking at it like this, those are not eyelashes, that's the direction they're looking, you don't get to really see that depth, right? You'll see those first two blocks. You'll see these, so we'll draw that. But you will also see these four. Now again, there needs to be a way for us to show that there is a change in depth right here, right? Because these two are further ahead. So what we do is, again, we draw a thicker line. And that line, again, shows change in depth. Now for our side view, this is what our side view looks like. It's almost like a Christmas stocking. In fact, let me draw a Christmas stocking. I have the perfect colors for that. I miss Christmas. If you're watching this during Christmas time, yay. If you're not watching it during Christmas time, come back and watch it during Christmas time. That's all I can say. I'm going to erase my stocking because it's not Christmas. Sad. But I will draw a side view of this object. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this one in front. So I'm going to draw my 6 first. And we have one more block in front here. Okay? And that is our side view. Now there's no change in depth for this image because we're looking at it straight across. So no additional lines are needed. So the big thing is to remember that you need to have a thick line to show a change in depth. Let's do another example. I'm going to pick figure 1 here. And we are going to want top, front, and side. So if we look at figure 1, if we look at it from the top, remember, top means there's a bird's eye view. So there's eyes, and they're looking down this way. What do we see directly on top? We have 2 blocks, 2 cubes. We can also see these 2 yellow blocks right here. And in fact, I am going to change the color to show that's the one I'm looking at. And I'm going to keep my red. I'm going to change this to yellow. Now, we must show that there's a change in depth. So right there, that's our thick line, right? That shows a change in depth. I'm going to write that down. Line shows change in depth. So that's our top view. For our front view, our front is in red, so we're going to do it in red. And it is exactly the same. And again, keep in mind, there is a change in depth. There we go. Our side view is in blue, right? And that's our side view right there. I'm even going to color it in. And I'll undo it and do it one more time so you can see where I'm talking about. Right there. So our side, if I get rid of that, I've got 1, 2, and 3 in front. So I'm going to draw these first 2. They're stacked on top of each other. And the third one, which is connected here. And that's our side view. Now one thing I've forgotten to mention is that if there's no change in depth, you can go ahead and get rid of those lines if you'd like. I prefer having them so we know that they are square pieces and they're all cubes. Right there. And this here, as we remember, that line is a change in depth. So for our try this, sorry, I just want to make sure, yep, all the colors were matched up there. I want you to find the top, the front, and the side views. Oh, forgot views. Views for figures 2 and 3. Highlighter doesn't work there. So figure 2 and figure 3. And if you want, you can do figure 4 as well. Figure 4 optional. Figure 4 is kind of difficult, but not at the same time. There's just a lot of different pieces. Figure 2 and 3 should be fun. And the way I want that is top, front. Whoa, fraught. No, that's not a word. Might be, just not in this language. And side. And we say thank you. With a smiley face. Hope you have a great day.